it's popular for a reason. So I don't like doubt the talent behind the work. But it's just like, oh my god, like I cannot watch it. I wanted to watch it too.
Welcome to episode 46 of the Amb Ant Podcast. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Amber.
And today we are talking about Made in Abyss, Reitsujitsu no Ogon Kyo.
Made in Abyss, Reitsujitsu no Ogon Kyo.
Otherwise known as Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. This is season 2 of Made in Abyss. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for the YouTube algorithm for more podcast reviews like these.
So, how was this anime for you? What happened in the first... Did we even watch 3 episodes?
No, you stopped after the third.
Yeah, I cannot...
Like after half of the third.
Yeah, so...
We'll get into that, about why you had to stop. But, yeah, I mean... We normally just do these reviews after 3 episodes, so it's pretty, like, Made in Abyss is pretty popular. I remember it was really popular back then as well. It's rated 8.67 on Anime List, and it's really, really popular. I watched the entire season 1, like, before this one. How about you?
I've never watched it. Don't plan on watching it. I always wanted to watch it, and after watching the first 2.5 episodes of the second season, I decided that I'll never touch it again.
Yeah. Basically, for those who are considering watching this, it has a lot of body horror, so we've just had, I guess, a somewhat bad experience with the body horror.
Just me. I feel like you were okay with it. I'm like not.
I was okay with it. It was just weird.
Yeah, I cannot understand it. Like, I thought that, because also I've heard of Made in Abyss for so long, and I feel like Nuxtaku used to, like, rave about it a lot. So then, yeah, I thought that was kind of similar to, like, Madoka Magica's vibe, where it's like, oh, really cute girls, and, like, cutesy kind of character designs, but then, like, the story is, like, horrible and, like, scary. I mean, because, like, I am aware of a lot of, like, plot points in the first season as well. Like, I'm, like, yeah, the story is, like, oh, scary and horrible and all that, but then it's, like, the amount of body horror and, like, random, like, strangely scientific, like, anatomy kind of, like, just scenes with, like, a lot of graphic things. Like, I cannot do it.
Yeah, like, even in the first episode of, like, season 2, we see the girl from, like, the long past, like, just throw up, and, like, on the ship, and, like, you just see her getting abused by, like, strange man, and, like, strangely graphic stuff, so.
Yeah,
it's just,
I hate it. Like, I hate it. Why? Because I feel like it doesn't do anything other than to shock the audience. It is just saying, like, oh, look at it. So cute, right? So cute. You would expect it to be cute, right? And then it's like, oh, actually, it's not. Oh, boo, we gotcha. That feeling of manipulation makes me feel, I don't know, it's condescending to me. And I'm like, I'm so done with it. Like, I really don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like they're trying to manipulate me or something, because, like, I can choose what to feel and what to not, like, kind of. Like, it's not like I see that kind of stuff and I'm like, oh, it's really cute. I don't have that kind of reaction.
It's not really... I think all media is, to some extent, manipulative, because it all tries to have, like, some kind of effect, as, like, the creators have a certain intent. And to me, like, it's just, like, the clear contrast between the art style and the content of, like, these visuals is just, it's too, like, stark. Like, it's too much. And it's like, why do we have to see this? Like, Ugh, I don't know.
Right, yeah. So they're placing like a lot of violent scenes with like very, cutesy kind of art style and stuff like that. Just to kind of catch your attention. It's like, I remember seeing this like YouTube series before, like Happy Tree Friends or something like that. Like, just some, stuffed animals just going at it, like, being really, violent and like killing each other and stuff like that. It's like,
it's like, funny, but like, I we're like, wow, so scary. Did you expect that? I don't know, but yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, I just remember like season 1 being kind of similar as well, in that like you just see a different society, right? So then they have like punishments for kids being like, oh, you strip them naked and then like you kind of like hang them from like somewhere or something for everyone to look at. It's like the olden times kind of like medieval type punishments that are kind of, it's just weird. So then everything about the show kind of just is very artistic. It like very far out there kind of. So then you just don't really expect it.
Yeah, I want to say, as I tend to like to say, like the quality of the show is really high. Like they're just like, even for the graphic scenes, they're trying really hard to make it visually make sense. And also it is very successful in achieving a kind of visceral reaction to the audience. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't really see the point of having like all these children suffering. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I don't want to see children being abused. It's more like, what's the point? Like, if it's just for us to be like, oh my God, that's stupid. But if there's a point in like, oh, why the children are this way, like, I feel like maybe I would take it better somehow.
Yeah. I mean, it just, like, basically, I think, I don't know, but I'm trying to think of like the level. It just seems like all of the children are like either abused or like crippled.
Yeah, they're real like fucked up in the brain.
Or just really, really screwed up, right? Like, crippled physically, mentally, emotionally, like just weird. Like, just you don't see like a happy-go-lucky coming of age story. It's more of like, how do we survive in this kind of harsh environment, and like we're just dying all over the place. Like death is so death is so frequent. It's so normal. Like, oh, we're so used to this kind of like degeneracy. It's like, okay.
But it's just like, I don't know. Like, I'm not one who wants to see a happy-go-lucky main character either. You know, like I kind of hate it.
I don't know about that.
As I've told you, okay, like other than like One Piece and like Dragon Ball. But then, like, other than that, I want to say, like, usually I like to see people suffering. As I've said before, I like to see torture porn. But then this is clearly, like, actually, I've spoken too soon. Like, I don't want to see torture porn, at least not like this. Because it's like, I don't find the purpose. As I was talking about torture porn, it was when we were watching Mushoku Tensei, right? And then I was like, I really wanted to see him struggle with like social anxiety. I really wanted to see him struggle with how to cope with all his past trauma of being like a 40-something-year-old man or actually 37, I think, year old man, and not being able to be accepted by like the society and not being able to be talented. That, I really wanted to see that because I felt like it would be more relatable for me. It would also just be more realistic and have like more of a grounding of like, oh, it's truly like isekai, right? Like from our world to a fantasy world. That's like the growth I want to see. And that's like the contrast between the different like contexts, making him a different person that I want to see. But for this, in a completely like fantastical setting, I mean, you could say like, oh yeah, this is just a dystopia, right? And then this is just the world as they live. I mean, I respect people who like this, I want to say, but then I personally don't because it's so far out there and so unrelatable. Like you can say, oh, but children in warring countries, they're suffering. But clearly, like, it's not... their struggles are not human struggles.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be like relatable or anything like that. It's just that like we don't really feel it's kind of trying to just show like a fantastical story, which is kind of like, I don't know, it somewhat reminds me of like The Promised Neverland a little bit, because like
but yes,
the kids are getting abused and stuff like that.
However,
it's kind of weird.
The Promised Neverland, they had a whole thing about critiquing. Okay, you can just say that I'm like too nerdy about this. I'm so sorry. Okay, first of all, I know that I have nothing against people who like this. Everything that I just said is why I don't like it. That's all. I'm not saying that this is a bad work. Again, I think the quality is really high. And then for Promised Neverland, I have a different take on it. Also because like I heard someone saying how it's like a critique on farming animals in our world. It's like in our world we're on the top of the food chain, and then it's kind of like a thought experiment of if humans are not on the top of the food chain and there is something that is able to be our predators and is able to have the like brain power to also farm us as like part of their kind of like agriculture, what would happen then? And I feel like that is such an interesting and also like relatable structure that I can also see parallels in our world. That's why I like it. Again, I'm not saying that's better. I honestly don't think that Promised Neverland is better. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Well, but yeah. That's that. I wouldn't say I like Promised Neverland more either. I like the idea of it more than the idea of Made in Abyss.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I mean, I was just going off of how the kids are in a weird situation, and they're just all gonna die. Like, I don't know. So the main character in Made in Abyss is the daughter of like the best like white whistle like highest ranked adventurer, right? Into the abyss. So it's just
basically kind of like Gong and Jing's relationship.
She's like the chosen one's daughter or something like that. It's like kind of weird. And the whole point of the show is to like dive into the abyss and like search the abyss. So it's kind of like a reverse Tower of God where they go down instead of up. I just don't like, I don't really remember the first season, and I think that it's probably a reason why. Like, I think that things were very random. It was very fun to watch. It was just very random. And just people were getting tortured, like, it's just more of what you saw. Like, the kids are getting experimented on and abused, like, it's like super random, and
yeah, thank you for your input. Like, I understand why it's entertaining to watch. And I feel like, again, it's popular for a reason. So I don't, like, doubt the, I don't know, not potential, but, like, the ability, the talent behind the work. But it's just like, oh my god, like, I cannot watch it. I wanted to watch it too. Like, I think I've told you about it even before we watched it. And then it's like something that was always on my to be watched list.
Yes.
But then after just like watching a little bit of it, I'm like, oh my god, like, I'm not like unaware of the story either. Like, I know about like the whole like first season, like, you know, like they're putting children like lower and lower, and then the curse kind of like happens. Yeah. Like, I know, but then just watching it and all the little details that are like so skillfully animated and designed, it makes me so uncomfortable, and I just cannot.
Yeah. So that's kind of why we had to stop. I might come back to this.
You should.
I didn't like come back to it. It's just, I just don't feel like it's going anywhere. Like, the thing is,
I don't think this is
having the
going
first
anywhere. Or is it?
Huh? What?
Is it supposed to go anywhere? Like story.
Well, the thing is, their mission is to just go deeper and deeper into the abyss. However, each level is like so random and so weird. They have no idea what's going on. Yeah. So it could just be it's like a big question mark. Like, there's no like people that they're going to go see. There's no like any there's no like any, I don't know, like layer that they're specifically trying to reach from like there's no lore to the story. It just seems random.
But theoretically, that sounds really cool. You know, like it sounds like, yeah, theoretically, like conceptually, it's like, wow, like because you don't know what to expect, and it's not a traditional quest kind of thing. Like I guess it's a quest that they're just like trying to go lower and lower, but then it's like we don't really know what the like MacGuffin is. What are we trying to get out of it? But like, to like, yeah,
kind of use an earlier example, One Piece, they're trying to search for the One Piece. Like they're trying to search for the greatest treasure.
Yeah.
And then we all know that there were clues left behind by, you know, Gold Roger. There's just like, who's just like, oh, we got like part of his old crew, or like, you know, like, oh, this is like the lore that's set up in the world. This doesn't seem like that. I might be just missing a few things because like I haven't watched it for so long, and like, if that's the case, maybe. But then so far for season 2, showing like, I guess the backstory in such a weird way. Like I don't know these people. They were never mentioned earlier. And or yeah, they were never mentioned. I don't remember at all. And then we just see them step up into the same spot that the young girl from before like did. And that's it. Like there's no like indication of like what they faced or anything like that. It's just they just kind of, oh, they're the ones exploring it now. It's just like, I don't know. The hollows and like the value system, that's kind of cool. Kind of like that. But I just don't know where it's going. And I also, yeah, I don't know. Like, if people know, then please comment, but I don't know what's going on.
Or maybe like you're just supposed to kind of discover it along the way. Like, I think, so are you saying that like narratively, the whole like backstory prequel kind of thing is not effective?
It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it makes sense. Like, I don't think in the, like, cause I watched season 1 a while back, so I might not like know everything, but like at least I watched the entire thing, and like I know I was paying attention. So, I just don't understand, they haven't done that before, like have like a distance past flashback for an entire episode. So I'm just kind of wondering like why that was super necessary. Cause then maybe I only got that it was like, yeah, like even towards, while we were watching it, like even towards the middle, like I was like, oh, this must be a flashback, right? Because like otherwise this doesn't make any sense. Like these are not the people I know. These are not the like, I don't know. It's just, I really don't like flashbacks. They're too annoying.
Oh, okay.
They seem like filler.
Okay, to me, like, I'm okay with flashbacks, especially, like, for me, I don't know what characters I'm supposed to be expecting. But then, at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't understand why there is so much torture even in the flashback. If these people are not that important, why is it still like, oh yeah, she has, like, an abused body. She was, like, I don't know, burned by, like, the dude. It's too... Honestly, it feels really childish. Like, this might sound weird. It's just immature torture. It's like, oh, it's torture for the sake of torturing rather than having a deeper meaning or some kind of like character development that like comes about it. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, we're gonna put a random character, and even the random character has a traumatic past. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Right. It's like everybody has a sort of traumatic past. They're like super poor. They're like, they're eating bugs. They have no food. Like they're just in the worst situation possible. And they made it to this like island. And then they're like looking around.
Well, it's like
they're Native Americans.
Like the golden palace.
Yeah, the golden city.
Yeah.
Golden city, yeah. So and I'm just, I mean, it's cool, except I just don't know, like, I don't know if we needed to see that.
what's really interesting also, like, Ogonkyo, it reminds me of Skypiea, right, in One Piece.
Yes,
because they're also trying to find the, like, literally in Japanese, it's the same thing, like, the gold city or something. Right. And then, like, it's, again, I didn't watch the first season, so don't kill me for this, guys. But, like, in One Piece, they kind of hinted at it, and then, like, the whole discovery of, like, trying to, like, understand and, like, what, like, why we want to see it so much, and, like, building that up is, to me, more effective than this, because this is so random that it's like, oh, I guess this is a golden city kind of thing. And then it's not really, like, emotionally impactful when it's like, oh my god, we need to get this. And when you finally get there, it's like, oh my god, I feel so accomplished. So I was like, ah.
Right. It's just that they have somehow stumbled into the golden city as they were descending into the abyss. Yeah. So I'm just like, okay. It
Side
doesn't
mission.
have the same... Huh? What?
Side mission, kind of.
Yeah, it seems like that. It's like just one of the other levels, whereas Skypiea felt like... I really like Skypiea. It's cool. Like, you just go up into the air, like, everybody, like, wants to go there so bad, and then Luffy's just so hyped, to even, you know, be there, and just, it was Sky Islands, there's, like, lore behind it, there's still the Native Americans, funny enough, right? Like you remember? Like,
why do
this
they
is the same situation.
Associate just like gold? Oh, like, then we need Native Americans.
So,
like,
exactly. Like,
so annoying.
You know,
oh my god,
it's the same thing. So,
cultural appropriation.
I mean, sure. It's just they still had basically the same thing, and it was like a gold city, and then like Enel was like the king of like everything. So it's just like, okay,
yeah, that's interesting. Like. Actually, as you were saying that, like, I was also thinking, like, you were saying how this is kind of like you go to each layer and then you don't really know what's going on kind of thing. But then in One Piece, especially early One Piece, it's also like you're going island by island, but you don't really know what's going on either. Like, there are a certain, like, few, like, bigger islands that were like, oh my god, we really want to get to see, like, Wano Kuni. It keeps on, like, coming up. And also, like, the whole Skypiea thing, it was just like, oh my god, to go to the sky and whatnot. But then it's also, like, that sense of adventure and, like, unknown. But then, to me, I just like One Piece a lot more. Also just because of the tone and how it's presented. But it's just, like, I feel like it's kind of makes it feel less weird and more exciting in a way, I would say. Yeah.
I think maybe part of it is just this is not a Shonen Jump kind of thing. This is not like a it's not made for that. You know,
for sure.
Specifically. So I think that's the big difference here is just that, like, I really like the kind of
as different things.
Yeah. I really like shonen type deals where you kind of want to go really, like, you got the action adventure, you got the characters that are really strong. Like, in this one, the main character, very incompetent. Very, very, like, very incompetent, doesn't do anything. She gets carried through everything. It's kind of weird. Like, you see the robot friend and then, like, the bunny? Like, they're super strong. Like, they're, Nanachi and, like, Reg, like, they're OP.
Yeah.
And then she's, like, useless. And I'm just like, wait, like, how is she even doing this? Like, there's no way she survives this, right? Because...
No, it's the power of friendship, Anthony.
Power of friendship, power of, plot armor. Like, it's weird, man. Like,
again,
I'm just confused.
I'm not annoyed by an incompetent main character at all, actually. Usually I don't... Huh?
I am for sure.
I know you are. I know you are. When you were talking about ReZero and everything, like...
Yeah.
I'm not annoyed, but then I feel like I just don't like those. Well, first of all, I don't really have an emotional connection to the characters yet because I didn't watch that much. Sorry. And also, it's just like... I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea, I would say. And then, like, the whole feeling of, oh yeah, it looks like it's marketed for children, but it's not. Like, I don't know. That bothers me. It's kind of annoying for me, too. Yeah. It's deceptive. Yeah. And even though I know it is deceptive, like I watched it and then I felt like, oh my god, I did not prepare myself for this.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, you don't have to sound like you hate it just because I don't like it. I mean, you clearly like it somewhat that you watched the whole first season.
I'm down to, I was down to watch it. And it was good. Like, it was okay. I don't remember it, and I don't feel like I want to watch it. So, like, the thing is, the issue with this season is that there are a lot of good, like, heavy hitters this season. Like, that's the problem. It's just that there's not enough time to watch them all.
Well,
you gotta pick
We're
and choose.
Both starting school again.
True. You gotta pick and choose, like, which ones are the best. So, for example, Summertime Render, we binged that one. Oof. We did all of them.
That's cool.
Up to the newest one. So, and, Overlord. Been working on that a little bit, you know? And then there's also, like, Isekai, OG-san. Oh, so good, right? Let's go. There's, you know, all of these other ones that there's JoJo's that we haven't.
Oh my god, JoJo!
Yet, there will be, right? Like season 2, right, on Netflix right now.
Yeah, it's already out. Yeah.
So it's actually like, I think the issue with this season is this, like, if they don't really hit it perfect, there are other options, and that's kind of why we don't really care about a single one.
So then, again, if you like watching season 1 and is, like, completely okay with the tone and how it presents things, like, I mean, sure, go for it. It's just, like, I wouldn't personally vouch for it. That's all.
Yep. Pretty much. I might do some more, but I also am more interested in Overlord right now. Cause, you know, I've been kind of watching that. So, also one that we have to hit is, Licorice Recoil. Okay. It's like 2, like, cute assassin girls. You gotta do that.
Cool.
So.
I'm very enthusiastic, clearly, but,
Yeah, I'm getting good vibes here.
Yeah. So are we done?
So, I think so. What'd you rate it?
Okay. Goodbye. Oh.
Huh? What'd you rate it?
I didn't hear you. I was too excited to be done. I would rate it. Okay, personal enjoyment, like a 3. But quality, I would give it like a 8.5.
So we average that, right?
Okay.
5?
Okay. Anyways,
I'll give it like a 7.5.
Okay.
Probably.
Cool.
My scores are always really high. So.
I know.
Yeah, it's like it's really good. It is good. However, it is not on the same level as Overlord or Summertime Render or it's not like of that caliber. I think I don't understand why it has such a high rating. I really need to, like, if someone knows, then let us know.
Again,
also subscribe.
I think the quality is really good. I do think, like, the animation quality and, like, a lot of, like, attention to detail is better. Like, for sure, no offense, for sure better than Overlord. Summertime Rendering, I would also argue that this is quality-wise better than Summertime Rendering, but I like Summertime Rendering way more than I like this.
Oh my god, Overlord is the best.
Anyways, bye.
All right, see you guys.